This is my new project. It's a 2007 Suzuki S40 that's been converted to a cafe racer, which I actually had before. Video here, or picture here, and sold it. And it's got the same kit as the cafe racer that I had. But this one was converted to a bobber. There's the bobber seat. But apparently it was stolen, and the owner got it back, but it's seen better days. So I got it for a really good price, and I'm gonna try to get it restored. It didn't have front turn signals. The reflectors are gone. No, well, this is an illegal tail light, so I've got to add more tail lights to it. There's a hole. Show you a picture. There's a hole underneath there where the kickstand goes. The kickstand is kind of goofed up, so there's a lot going on. His shocks are broken. I don't know how you break the shocks, but yeah, this needs a lot of work, so I'm going to have to get a lot of replacement parts. But just wanted to document this as the beginning of a long process. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take as much as I can apart, try to save as much as I can in the current condition. I've got a pipe that I'm going to put in, a muffler that I'm going to put in, and I'm probably going to polish this back up best I can. Definitely need to change the oil, and yeesh, look at that. The guy who stole it also cut the ignition. Oh wow. But yeah, he cut the ignition wire, so I've got to rewire all that up. I don't even know how this goes back in, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Good news, I pulled the plug off, and just making sure that the engine isn't seized up. So, yep, she turns. I got her in first gear, and so that's first step. Good news, engine is not seized up, and later I'm gonna have to check the compression. But step one, another weird thing I found. The coil here, see, was mounted right here, but it can't be mounted there because that's where the gas tank sets into. These little ears, they slide on these little rubber bushings here, and I'm gonna have to get another rubber bushing here, but the mount is just loose, so I gotta bolt that back on. The coil actually goes right here, right there. So yeah, whew. Fun. Okay, got the carburetor out, and the doofus who stole it, he spray painted it. He spray painted it all over the bike, hopefully to disguise it. But I don't know. These are stupid, so I have to clean all the spray paint off the carburetor. I gotta check it, open it up. Ooh, yeah. The gas in there is green, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take this apart and clean it up. All right, here's what the bowl looks like. Gasket looks all right though, that's good. So the Yeah, all that looks pretty sketch. So I'm going to pull out all the jets and put it in my ultrasonic cleaner over there. Okay, I got the bowl cleaned out. I haven't tried to get the float out, but the float looks all right. I might still try to get it out to see if the needle valve up there is still in good condition. Cleaned out the jets. This one's good. This one, had to blow it out with some carb cleaner, but now time to put it back together. Okay, I pulled the sprocket off the front gear there by loosening the rear axle. Had to mark where they were aligned, because apparently the alignment marks got painted over. Pulled the sprocket off, pulled the belt off. Now I'm getting ready to pull this cover, and the hole is right under here. And what happened was this bolt here was what was holding the kickstand. And apparently when the tow truck towed it home, they strapped it down and they pushed it over this side, and it bent the bolt up, and it caused it to make a hole right there. So I ordered a cover for it on eBay. It should be here in a few days, 3 or 4 days. So then I'll replace that cover. So the engine's running, or is not seized up, so that's good. I pulled the carb off, as you saw. After I get everything put back together, the next part is going to be good old wiring. It looks like I think I might be able to salvage this. And anyway, oh, I had to clean up the battery box, and I had to grind down part of it, because for some reason it wouldn't go back in. But anyway, so it bolts from the back side right there, bolts back up. Battery goes here. I'm probably gonna have to put some kind of cover here to cover all the wiring. Either that, or just after I get it all wired up and running, I'll get some conduit and wrap it up. But that's the progress so far. Okay, got the cover out, and there's the hole, and there's a piece of the cover that was on the inside. So luckily everything looks all right. But yeah, I ordered a new cover for it, and hopefully I can salvage the gasket. Otherwise I'll have to order another gasket. But I'll know in a few minutes if I can salvage the gasket. Let's see. Looks like I can. Yeah, looks like the gasket is salvageable. Yes, cool. All right, onward and upward. Well, I'm waiting on some other things. Decided to clean up the rim a little bit. It's kind of a little spotty there. You can see it's kind of hazy. So I got me some mother's polish, and I polished it up a little bit. It looks beautiful. Oh yeah. So that's what the other side's gonna look like when I'm done. Got the carburetor cleaned up, reinstalled. I cleaned the air cleaner. I might have to get another one, but there's not much clearance the way the battery box is sitting. So I just cleaned the old air cleaner blew it out with some carb cleaner and then blew it out with some air and re-oiled it. It's a K&N. Kind of hard to see, but yeah, it is a K&N air filter. I'm gonna have to get that's the vacuum line to go to the petcock. So I'll get a vacuum line. I bought some items over here. Got some hose clamps. I got a phone holder. These are clamps for the new lights, new turn signals. This is a new petcock. I'm gonna have to clean the tank. I'm gonna sand the tank down. There's some pinstriping or something needs to come off, but yeah, I'm gonna sand it down and paint it a certain color. And I believe these are the lights. Yeah, these are kind of small. I'm not a big fan of these, but I'm just trying to get it roadworthy. And if I hang on to it longer than expected, I might change to some different lights. But this will make it legal. It's already got that tail light, so I'm leaving that tail light on there. I'm just gonna add these tail lights, and then two of them, they got daylight running lights, and so I'm gonna clamp them on here to make them street legal. I might move the speedometer and the tachometer. I've got to do some work on the coil. Coil used to go here, but they modded it, so I think yeah, there's some grind marks here. These used to be here. These hold the tank. Yeah, there's a lot of modification going on this bike. I also ordered another kickstand because the old kickstand location was not very good, and plus the bolt that the Cafe Racer kickstand is all boned up, but the original kickstand goes here, so I'll bolt the original kickstand there. I like it here actually rather than back there, so I don't know why the kit moved the kickstand back there, but whatever. So that's it so far. It's getting closer. I figured out some of the wiring. I've got my climber manual, and it's got the wiring diagram in the back that I'll have to follow to hook everything back up. My plan is, this is the plate that goes here. The speedometer used to go here on the original OEM, but I'm gonna leave all this here as kind of a disguise, a red herring, and put the new ignition switch somewhere else. There's the new ignition switch. They cut the wire, so I'll have to re-splice that in for the connection. This connector, there it is, yep. That's gonna be the most complicated or most frustrating part. I gotta get a new strut. I think I showed you before, that's broke. But making a little progress. Here's the wiring that the guy who stole it messed up. I believe these are the tail signal light wires. This is the ignition plug, but they took out, there's a brown wire that goes in there, and I believe this is the brown wire here, but it's all stripped out, so I'm gonna have to re-splice that together. And I think this is the power. It's the power for the lights. for the running lights. These orange ones, I'm not quite sure. I believe orange might be the brake lights. Okay, orange is the brake light wire. Sheesh. So these go to the brake levers. So yeah, it's a little disturbing. And there's a thing called the what is it? Decompression controller. So I think they took it out, and that's one wire here. Yep. So there's a missing wire right there. You can see it. This is not, I don't think this is the original CDI or rectifier. I'm sorry. This is not the original rectifier, because here's the 3 wires, which tells me that it's a rectifier. But it looks like there's a missing wire right there. And when you look at the schematic, the rectifier goes to the decompression solenoid, which there's this plug here which goes to the decompression solenoid. So I just taped it off so I don't have to remember that that's not a thing. And this goes to the instrument panel that was right here on the gas tank. And then I put the turn signal lights on, and it just dawned on me, triggered my memory that the front turn signal light wires are coming out of the headlight. So I'm gonna have to pull the headlight bucket out and see if the wires for the turn signal lights are still intact in there. I rigged up a battery. Battery's not very good. It's dead, so I've got it hooked up to my charger just to get some juice into it. And then I plugged it into the battery terminals, and I hooked up the temporary ignition switch. So there you go. I got a light. I believe that's a neutral light. And let's see the yeah, that's the high beam. And then I believe this is the turn signal light, but the bulb fell out. So let me go. Oh, and yes, I was right. The brown wire that they cut goes to, let's see, where's that brown wire? Goes to this brown wire that's all stripped out that I've got to replace, but let me hold them together. And the running light. And so you can kind of see it doesn't have enough juice to flash blink right now, but that's the left turn signal. And there's the right turn signal, kind of. So the wiring is right. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna replace these little peanut bulbs with some 12-volt LEDs, which are much brighter. It's here, it's here, it's here. I got the battery from Amazon for 40-something bucks versus 100 and something if I went to an auto parts store to get one. And finally, the cover with a hole came in. So, and what's cool is they also gave me the shifter sprocket and shaft shifter gear thing. And it also came with the bolts. So that's cool. Yeah. From, what do you call it? From eBay. So, but it's I don't know what I don't know if that's dirt or if that's spray paint or what, but I'm going to clean that up with some carb cleaner and wire brush. So one thing I discovered, I didn't even think about is that the rear brake has no light switch. So I ordered a light switch, and there's supposed to be a bracket there as you step on the rear brake. It actuates the light switch, so I have to make a bracket. I made a bracket for the tail turn signal lights, so I'll put that in, and then I have to make a bracket. I might keep this bracket for the license plate, I don't know, but we'll see. Got it cleaned up. That's the used new one, and here's the old broken one. So hopefully the seals up properly and doesn't leak. So then after I get it in, I'm gonna try to start it up. All right, she's in. Now I'm gonna put the drive sprocket back in, and hopefully I can get her started. I'll put some oil in it. The moment of truth. I got the battery installed. I got the new cover installed. It's in neutral. I'm gonna have to set the camera down and pull the clutch in. Okay, here we go. Yeah, baby. She cranks. Okay, I got the first running light hooked up. Just have to adjust a little bit, but that's what it kind of looks like. I like the running lights because it gives me more visibility to oncoming drivers, hopefully. Here's what the turn signal looks like. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to put a diode in the turn signal circuit. I'm gonna have to put a diode in the turn signal circuit to slow it down a little bit, because these are LEDs, and LEDs don't play nice with incandescent bulbs. So since there's still incandescent bulbs on the bike, yeah, see, I had to put an incandescent bulb on the turn signal indicator. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna hook up the other side. Got the tail lights installed, and I thought these had red running lights, but no, you can either use them as red running lights or brake lights. So I figure probably the more important thing for me is the brake lights. And I also installed a flashing diode. So when I hit the brakes, they flash. And then got the hazards. That's pretty cool. I like those tail lights. Got all the wiring straightened out. These two wires are the negative, and they're just chopped off, so there's no effect. These two wires go to the rear brake switch, light switch. So when I get the rear brake light switch, I'll put a coupling on here and connect it to that. Zip tied everything back together. The CDI box, I just double-sided glued it to the battery box. And so the side panel here, what I did was I put little metal clamps on there that are gonna clamp to the frame here and here. And what I'm gonna do is I gotta fix the fiberglass. So I'm gonna fix the fiberglass, I'm gonna sand it and paint it, take this sticker off. But the way it works, it's gonna go clamp on down there and clamp on right there. There you go. That way they come off easy, and you know, they hold on pretty tight. So I'm gonna do that to the other side too. Put the control panel back on. This is actually a diversion. So obviously whoever takes a look at the bike is gonna say, oh, well, how do you start this thing? Well, I put the key over here. So it's gonna be behind the side cover, so it's not gonna be readily visible where you put the key in. So that'll deter somebody from stealing it. I also got to put a cover, make a cover that goes over the battery. Probably held down by these screws, and then just cover over the battery, and just to keep it, you know, looking clean. Okay, you got the tank on, and here's the key. Turn the key on. Got the neutral light. Turn signal. And brights. Mo better. This is a Harley Davidson muffler that I bought from Marketplace, and it kind of fits, but it's there. I had to make a makeshift bracket because there's supposed to be a bracket here, or it goes, there's a hole back here, but for some reason it was removed. But anyway, there's the muffler. Finally got the original kickstand bracket from eBay, and I went to go put it back on. These two bolts here, these are engine mount bolts. What they did when they converted it to a cafe racer, the controls, shifter and stuff used to be here, but they moved them back here. But the problem is they cut like an inch off the engine mount bolt, because it goes into this hole and that hole. But since they cut them, it's not long enough to put these acorn nuts in. So I had to retrofit the cafe racer kickstand by, I added an extra plate here. So if this thing were to swing, it's going to hit up on this plate, and then I also rounded off the top of this here, so if it rotates down, it won't hit the plate that caused the old plate to break. So now she's all put back together, and let's get her started. And she's ready to start up. Got the reflectors, got the front turn signals on, or installed, some gas in it, got the side panels installed. There's still some cosmetic things I need to do. Still have to add the rear brake light thing. That's not a real plate. Got the side plate installed, seat installed, one mirror just to get it street legal. So let's get her started. So now I made a cover out of a PVC pipe. I split the PVC, hit it with a heat gun, and molded it to cover the battery like a so. And then I got a piece of sheet metal and just kind of bent it so it will slip in between there, just like a soap. Like that. And then put this on there. And down here. There you go. It's a little floppy, but it won't come out. So now I'm just gonna clean this a little bit and paint it black so it would blend in with everything. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There it is. Now I'm gonna put the seat on and then we ride. Got a few kind of accessory additions. I had these from my other cafe racer bike that were not fitting very well, so I made some shims and I got these installed, handlebar end mirrors. I'm not a fan of these, but that's what I had, so I don't want to have to buy any extra mirrors, so I got these installed. I mean, they're cool, but like I said, I'm just not a big fan of them. They work, that's all that matters. And then of course the rear brake light switch was missing. Goes in that bracket there, but I went ahead and I made a bracket or a housing for the brake light switch and just zip tied it to here. I'll clip the zip ties, make them look better, and hooked it to the brake lever. And they work good. So that's it for now. I am sanding down the gas tank because I'm going to paint it a different color than just black. But apparently the old the old color scheme is pretty cool. It has this gray stripe. I'm guessing it's gray and red edges. That's pretty cool actually. Too bad it's kind of ruined because of the post paint that was done to it. You know, what I could do is I could also like what do you call it, just clear coat it as is and kind of make it a retro, but I'm gonna paint a different color. It looks like the front of it was all, the base coat was red and then they put the gray over it. Yeah, so it looked like there was some damage here or something, because here everything looks intact. But yeah, it would have been cool to have the old paint scheme the way it is, but it is what it is. I wet sanded all the blemishes, try to get it as smooth as possible. Started with 320, no, 80, then it went to 180, went to 1000, just to smooth out the lumps. And because once I paint it, the paint's gonna smooth it out, but that's what it's gonna look like. I wet sanded it. I mean, its original paint scheme was pretty cool. I mean, I like it. If it stayed intact like this, I would have left it that way, but you know, since all the dings and blemishes, and up here it had a really bad blemish, so I'm just gonna paint it the way I want it. So yep, that's what I'm gonna do next. I tried to fill these holes with some Bondo, but problem is the hardener, I think it went bad, so it never hardened. So I got some old JB Weld tank weld and put them in the holes there. That right there, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that and just paint over it. Covered that hole, and I fixed this corner that had the chip missing out of it. So I'm gonna get it sanded down and then we paint. And there they are. First coat, green. And there's the gas tank. Put a second coat on it. I'm getting ready to put some clear coat on it, fuel-proof clear coat. The tank has some blemishes on it, but don't let perfection get into in the way of good enough, you know. So given that the bike is in the condition it is, it just needs to be good enough. So there's some light scratches, especially around the tank cap there, but it's gonna take exponentially more work to sand it down. I can wet sand it all, but then I gotta wait another day for paint to cure, and it's just not worth my time. Same here. There's a little spider web crack there that's gonna take some time, and then scratches there, but it's gonna look better than just the matte black that the thief spray painted. So this is fuel proof. There's a second a hardener in there. It's like epoxy, but the last one I had kind of exploded, so hopefully this one won't explode. So here we go. The way you activate it is you're supposed to shake it for a minute, which I already did. Then you push this down, and it's harder than the videos I've seen. So here goes. This activates the activator. It's supposed to click. I can feel it. There it goes. It clicked now. Yep, now it's all the way down. Move that. And you're supposed to shake it for another minute. I moved the part from under the tree. I wanted it in the shade because I didn't want it in direct sunlight, but then that tree has a tendency to drop pine straw. So anyway, here's out of the sun and less likely to get stuff dropped on it. There we go. I'm just gonna put what they call a tack coat on it. All right, she's clear coated. It's beautiful. I gotta wait, I think 10 minutes, and then I have to put a second coat just to make sure that the fuel proofness is effective. And we are in the good enough phase. I have clear coated everything, 2 coats of clear coat. If you look real close, you'll see some blemishes. I had something land right there, but I might polish that out after the clear coat cures. It's dry and touchable now, but it cures. From what I read online, you want to give it at least 24 hours to fully cure. So after 24 hours, I'm gonna reinstall everything, and then we ride. All right, she's done. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What you think? I got the flying tiger shark mouth there. It's not perfect, but from a distance it looks just fine. And here, take a walk around there. Got the new signal lights, saw that from before. Fix the kickstand, shark mouth on that side. I put in the license plate holder and license plate light. That's new. Got the new cover underneath that was broke. Yeah, there she is. Start her up. There you go.